Hey everybody, time for a new pour on a new circle. I'm super excited. But I'm going to tell you show you, tell you, whatever. I am going to pour using these colors. I made these coasters last night and I am in love with them. It was Persian blue, which I then added Liquitex or Artist Luff Iridescent Medium. For the main reason I added it, well, I wanted a little bit of glitz, but you can't really see anyways. But I had mixed it way too thin, and this stuff kind of thickens it. So then my self-mixed green, my favorite vermilion, and deep yellow. So those are the four that made these pretty coasters. But I'm going to add in alizarin crimson. So these, I think I had lined them, I don't know what order. I know this was first. I don't know. So I lined them up in a row right next to each other and poured them all white first and then did a flip and drag over it. And I am just like, wow, these are awesome. And no silicone at all, none. So therefore I don't have to clean them before I resin them. And I just solidly taped up the back with painter's tape and resin right over that. Or I don't retape. I don't obviously resin over my tape. I will show you these. These ones have been resined. Set those behind me. So these I have resined, and they're looking pretty cool. They are just a, oh, I showed you. I did a pour with these, just those MDF wood. And let's see. So, my friends, this is what I'm so excited about. Teacher at work cut me a 1/2 inch, 18 inch diameter MDF. Cut me 7 of these, and then he cut me, because this is what fit on the board, so on the big piece. So 7 18-inch ones and 2 24 ones. And he mitered the edges. Oh my God, they are amazing. They're lighter than the other that I was using. I have not resined. Actually, I haven't even painted one yet, so obviously I haven't resined it. I would almost like it to be a little thicker, but then you're adding a lot of weight, unnecessary weight. So I primed them. Oh, now I have stuff all over. So I primed them and then sanded them, because after you paint them, or after you prime them, they get kind of rough. So then I sanded them. So they have been primed and sanded and ready to go. And I need to say, I haven't been priming those panels, the square panels, and somebody emailed me, and because I wasn't priming them. Well, I had read you didn't have to prime them, and they weren't absorbing, they weren't warping, so I didn't, that's why I thought about priming. But somebody emailed me and said, there's, the chemicals that are in it will leach through eventually. And so I looked it up, and that's true. So always prime. So like these, I've primed both sides. Actually, this one I only primed this side, and I taped up the back because I will be painting this after. So after I resin the other side, then I will paint this. But my other ones, the other rounds, are all painted on both sides, or primed on both sides. So be sure and prime. And so I'm glad, I guess I had not thought about the chemicals in the wood leaching through. I had always thought of priming it just, you know, as so that the paint didn't all sink in, so it didn't warp, so that it didn't dry, you know, because if it all sinks in, you know, your color's not going to be as vibrant. So I was glad that they emailed me, and now I know. Because I've seen a lot of people who say they don't prime them. So now you know. I like it when people, you know, give me helpful tips. Alrighty, so all of my paints are mixed with Floetrol and water. There is a video on my paint mixing, and my recipe is always very approximate. And it has, on my favorite blues, it's been wrong lately because I've had to then go back in and make them thicker. So this is the one, it was so thin, and that's why I think a couple of my pours were disappointing with these colors. Look at, you probably can't even see the shimmer. It's so pretty though, but it didn't really show up in the coasters. I'm sure this crimson should be stirred. I haven't used this color in forever. And I keep using this color combo lately because I'm pretty hooked on it. You know, it was magenta there for a while, but I'm really hooked on these colors. I will go back to the others though, not to worry, they're not gone forever. I like the self-mixed green too, but I can't get the lid off. Oh, it had suctioned itself. That's lovely. Okay, so I've got my flip cup. I think I'll use less green than I did before. Okay. Yellow almost never shows up, but it makes the other colors look pretty. Oh, it just occurred to me there is no silicone in this. I do want a little silicone. So what I think I will do is, there is barely any left in this. So I'm going to take some treadmill silicone, 2 drops. Stir it in there. There we go. So now there's a little bit in there. So there's less green than the other colors, so hopefully it won't be as green. Stir, stir, just a little. Okay, wipe that clean. Now set that aside so I can deal with this. I've got a gallon container coming from Amazon tomorrow that is like, you know, like kind of like a gallon milk jug, or like the gallons that art resin comes in. So I'm very excited. So then I'm going to mix up big batches, put it in there, because then you just have a tiny lid as opposed to this big one. And then, you know, it won't get as dried out inside. So I'm pretty excited for that. Today I got my metal file from Amazon. I ordered some new resin, and I want to thank my sponsors so far for the month of February that have donated, and so that helped go towards that. I've got Linda and Karen and Blanche. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Every little bit helps. And now that I've really gotten on the resin kick, that stuff's expensive. But gosh, it just makes these circles pop. I'm not using my Lazy Susan because it's been really annoying me lately. I need to find a different piece of wood for it. I've not been happy with both of the pieces of wood that I've tried. The first was too big. I'm sound like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. The first was too big. This one is like wobbly weird. I'm not really sure what the perfect Lazy Susan would be, but I will find it. I'll just have to come up with something to make. Pull this closer to me. There's got to be something in my basement I can find that'll work. When I was screwing the D-rings into the back of one of these right before this, I was reminded of when I did mosaics. Facebook maybe had just started. So, I mean, it was a long, long time ago. And I didn't really do a whole lot of research. I mean, I did enough so that I learned about grout and stuff, but mainly at the time, where I got a lot of my information, I went to the library, like the real library, and got paper books. Isn't that insane? But I didn't know stuff about like hanging them, and so I didn't have D-rings, so all of my big heavy wooden pieces, I would screw a screw in there about halfway, start twisting the picture wire around the screw a few times, and then screw the screw in the rest of the way so that, the picture wire couldn't move. And that was how I did it. I don't even know if I knew if there were like D-rings, I guess. So kind of everything I've done, I've just kind of taught myself. Except this, this form of art, there's a lot of info out there now. So now anytime you take up a new hobby or something, you still got to figure a lot of stuff out on your own, but you got a lot more to start with, or a lot more info to start with, I should say. So I am just cleaning up the sides, making sure that there is white paint on all of them. Those coasters, back to the coasters, are really weird in that they're so light, and I'm used to making coasters on tile, but they seem just oddly light. I'm gonna close up my white, set that aside. I'm gonna torch the air bubbles in this. You know what? There weren't any weird things in here. Normally there's like dried bits of gunk. There wasn't any this time. How sad. All right, so this has been selling and doing some weird stuff in there. Well, actually, this is a lot brighter than I thought it would be. So it's more kind of a flip and slide. Let that go off a bit. Okay. Just glides along so nicely. Let's let that go off the edge too. Okay, so I'm just gonna fill in some of these. This is really kind of heavy right here, more so than I would like. I like that better. It got awfully dark towards down here. Whoa! That was a little more than I intended. So let's see where it takes us. I really like up top there, so it's mainly the alizarin, vermilion, and yellow. So I did an amazing pour the other day. One of the best I think I've done. And the canvas sagged and it all just puddled and got ruined. I've never had that happen. And of course, now that it's dry, it's tight as could be. And I know there are ways to tighten them up as they're drying, but I've never had to do that. So I was saddened. Kind of an odd shape, isn't it? Knew that was under there. So is this. Dipping my finger to see how thick it is. It's not that thick. So I'm tilting it. As I'm tilting it, you can see like the cell. These things are happening over here. Look at it. It's just like multiplying. I'm not sure. Let's torch it and see what happens. Wow, it's already starting to kind of dry. Or not want to flow back off. Alrighty, so not too much, which is good, because you can see all this color under here, and I was hoping that it wouldn't explode. Pretty sure it's such a odd shape, like I don't know. I think I'm gonna blow some pieces. Ah, I'm stuck on my microphone. Just give it a little bit more of a hear the packing tape. I didn't have duct tape, and my green painter's tape is worthless. So I have packing tape, and you can hear it. There's quite a bit of paint right here, but at least it won't ruin or the canvas, you know, at least it's hard so it won't all fall into the middle again. Well, it made it quite a bit busier, what I just did, because it added in a ton of white cells. It reminds me of coral, I keep looking at it to see if I'm done. I am done. Yeah, I'll show you from... Yep, I'm done. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I will catch you next time. Bye.